Hello again, everybody. This is John with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the testosterone booster category in terms of supplements, not steroids. That's a separate deal. And we've done some videos in the past on D-aspartic acid and some other testosterone boosting supplements. And one of the biggest things that comes up in the comments is, hey, should I take this? Do you think it's going to raise my testosterone levels? So on and so forth. And sometimes what happens is people say or see that, yes, a certain ingredient raises testosterone levels. The question is, how much is it raising testosterone levels? Is it enough to positively increase muscle mass? Are you getting enough testosterone? You can take steroids, for instance, and if you don't take enough of a given form of testosterone, you're not going to increase your muscle mass. Yes, your testosterone levels may go up a little bit, but not enough per se to increase muscle tissue. So that's really where the question lies. Now, what I can tell you is yes, that some of them can increase testosterone to the point where you'll see a positive effect on libido. So if you're somebody who's having issues there, that's where you could see a benefit. But if you're otherwise healthy, and let's just say, just to throw a number on it, you're under 40, you have a nutrient-dense diet, all other things being equal, and again, you're otherwise healthy, they're not going to raise your testosterone enough to help you build more muscle tissue. Maybe indirectly you could make an argument because, like I mentioned, that your libido goes up. Maybe just in general because of that you feel better and then you get some kind of an indirect benefit in the gym. That's feasible. But in terms of, hey, I'm popping these and man, I'm just getting so much stronger and things like that, there's not any human evidence to demonstrate that, at least to the point where it's significant enough, again, to increase hypertrophy. So it's one of those subjects that sometimes people they really dig their heels and say, no, man, this is really working for me. And like I said, that blood work just isn't there that we've seen. That's not to say it'll never exist. If the facts change, I'll change my opinion on that. Now, when can somebody, maybe take something that may increase testosterone in terms of a supplement? Let's say you're over 40 and your DHEA levels have dropped. Well, then it would be prudent to supplement with DHEA because we do know that there's some evidence that when that is a limiting factor, adding that back into the mix can help. If you're deficient in zinc, that's something that can also help. Vitamin D. These are other things that we know that if you have these deficiencies, then yes, they can be a limiting factor and that can help. But in terms of, hey, I'm 25 years old, I'm 30 years old, I'm healthy, other things are good for me. Taking this, is this going to raise my testosterone, help me put on a bunch of muscle? Just the truth is no. That doesn't exist. I wish it did. We sell supplements. I would love to tell you that, but it's just not the case. So really just don't confuse the difference between being able to add muscle tissue and increase your libido. Two different subjects. Like I said, D-aspartic acid is something that seems to have some interesting preliminary evidence right now. I'd like to see more in humans though, and it's been a few years now since that original study came out, so I'd like to see some more on humans come out and done for a longer term so we can see. If you do take any of them, it makes sense to cycle them. Anytime you're messing with your endocrine system, and due to the lack of human evidence, I would cycle them. At a maximum 90 days straight or 12 weeks, then cut it off. That would be my advice. And the same holds true for aromatase inhibitors. That's another way that people try and raise testosterone levels. Same thing, you should cycle those as well. Like I said, anytime you're messing with your endocrine system, there could be some downregulation on natural production. It's always a good idea to cycle those things. Inevitably this then brings up the question, well, what if somebody is coming off steroids? Will any of this stuff help? Maybe. The reality is that if somebody's coming off steroids, sometimes the best thing to do short of HCG is just to give yourself a break cold turkey. And in no way am I advocating doing that or taking steroids. I'm just saying that these are questions that come up, so don't read into it for any more than that. And another question that comes up is, what about women and testosterone boosters? I would stay away from them if you're a female. I mean, there's really, your endocrine system's completely different than men. I just wouldn't go down that road. Not to throw any kind of fear-mongering or anything like that at you. It's just not something that a female should take. There are plenty of other supplements that are not gender-specific that can be performance-enhancing, like creatine, beta-alanine, things like that. So you really just don't need to go down that road. So just to summarize, again, the testosterone booster category in general, okay, to me is lacking in empirical evidence in humans to raise testosterone levels enough, any particular compound, to the point where you're going to increase muscle mass. That may change. Maybe some of it was misdirected for a while in terms of any research and stuff because pro-hormones were so big for a long time. And now that they're more or less gone, you could find them now on like fringe sites and things like that sometimes. But generally speaking, those that are out there are pretty toxic compounds in terms of your liver, because if they're going to have any oral bioavailability, they're going to have to, make it through first pass metabolism through your liver. Also, many of those compounds, it's basically a guy, a formulator calling up China and saying, hey, do you have any raw material? Because he's just going through an old textbook and finding old steroids that never made it to market because of their toxicity. Yes, they'll raise testosterone, but there's going to be a whole bunch of other effects too. So I would generally recommend avoiding those. So hopefully over time there becomes more research on some of these natural testosterone boosters for that population that maybe is getting into your late 20s, early 30s, and you could start to get some benefit there. And then again, as I mentioned, for the older population right now, DHEA, perhaps zinc if you're deficient in it, vitamin D, things like that can actually be beneficial. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comment section of the video or blog. I'm happy to answer them. Also, check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up below. Thanks for watching.